I think I've been a pretty huge proponent against AirPods. I mean, and it's probably not just AirPods, but it really is, some of the truly wireless earbuds, whatever. But I think for me, it really is more of a Apple took away the headphone jack with the iPhone 7 and immediately sold us the solution to the problem that they caused. The headphone jack obviously was a universal standard, 3.5 millimeters, and we all used it for listening to music, talking on the phone, whatever. If we had an MP3 player, an iPod, we all used it. And this little 3.5 millimeter jack is still useful today. I have my Zenfone 9 here, and it works perfectly. Ooh, use it almost every day. But Apple came along and shook up the industry, and obviously AirPods are extremely successful. I've never owned a pair. I'm not saying that they aren't a good product, but they are way more expensive than this wire is. Even at Apple's ridiculous $20 to buy this today in 2023 compared to the $100 I think for regular AirPods or over $200 for AirPods Pro, this is a way better alternative. No, I don't get the active noise canceling that comes along with the Pros. I need to look to see what the differences truly are between the Pros and the regular. But if I'm just looking at the regular AirPods, looking, at just that, this is exactly what AirPods look like. This is what they were born from. But of course, these have the wires, but these look like regular AirPods. And the cost of these is a lot cheaper than the cost of AirPods. And if we're just talking about regular AirPods, yes, these are essentially the same thing, except they don't have a wire sticking out the bottom of them, so you're good to go. Now, I have been using Bluetooth for a while. And of course, as things have gotten better, I've purchased different things. And yes, the added convenience of not being tethered to your phone all the time is nice. And I mean, just to give you a brief history of what I've been using or have used over the last 6 or so years. This right here is the Motorola Boom 2. So just kind of like the old school type Bluetooth devices where, yeah, these really are only good for phone calls. Listening to music you could do, but the audio quality is absolutely horrible. So for $35, this is still works. Charges via micro USB, so that's kind of a added inconvenience in today's time. But for the time, it was perfectly fine. And again, retail price was $70, but I only paid $35 because Target frequently had it on sale. So good if all you're doing is talking on the phone. And the battery life usually was about 6 or so hours, so relatively good battery life. Then I, at some point, upgraded to LG makes a product called the Tone or LG Tone. So this is one of their cheaper models, also one of their older models, and you wear it around your neck. So again, this is actually kind of the opposite of what that original Motorola product was. So yeah, the opposite of this little guy, where these are really good for listening to music, but from my experience, not as good for talking on the phone, mainly because the microphone is here and it rests right here on your neck, and it picks up a lot of that noise. Like as it's shuffling around on your neck, it picks up a lot of that noise. So not as good for talking on the phone because the person on the other end hears all of that stuff. But and I bought these in 2016, I believe, and in 2023, literally this morning, I'm still using these. Paid $20 for them. They were refurbished, and yes, these two also charge via micro USB because for the time that they were developed, that's what we were all using. And yeah, for 20 bucks, still work perfectly fine. Used them literally this morning. So yeah, good product. Definitely satisfied with this. If these break tomorrow, I'll be sad. But for 6, almost 7 years using them, for $20, they were well worth it. So hats off to LG for making a product that lasts this long. Then time went on, and I think at some point in time, I actually was using a phone that had a headphone jack. So I went back to a wired connection. Obviously not, well, I don't say obviously, but not those particular headphones. I know I had another pair at some point. But as time went on a little more, I did eventually adopt the truly wireless standard, with no wires, no headbands. And even though this technically is truly wireless, it's just a singular one. And if you want something that's a little better, you got to go with something like this. And I should have taken this out of the case, which I will, and I'll keep talking while I get it out of the case. But these are the Google Pixel Buds. Yeah, I think that's not the second generation. But yeah, here's the case of the Google Pixel Buds, and you open it just like AirPods or other ones that are kind of two in a pair, and you take them out. They're little buds. I hope this focuses appropriately, and you put them in your ear. And yeah, they're not bad. They're they get the job done. And honestly, for talking on the phone and listening to music, they're okay. One thing that I've grown to not like with headphones when I'm talking on the phone is the silicone tip, because I feel like I put it in and it does a good job of isolating the external noise, but it's uncomfortable. Not in terms of an air pressure type thing, but more so just I can feel that something is in my ear. So kudos to regular AirPods, because yeah, they are designed just like this. And I honestly really enjoy having them in my ear. Like, yeah, I feel it, but it's not cut off. Yes, there is no isolation, so I can still hear a lot of external noise. But for the most part, the way that the audio is channeled directly into my ear canal, it sounds pretty good. And then of course, as I'm saying, it's pretty comfortable. So I still have these, and I did use them for a while. Mainly because, yeah, the phone I was using did not have a headphone jack. I was using it with an iPhone, using it with probably a Pixel, maybe some other things. I don't remember all the phones that I've had over the past couple of years. But one of the main reasons I was using it was, yes, the phone I had did not have a headphone jack. And I was still on that bandwagon, which I've been on for a while. So I'm not saying I'm new to it. But yes, Bluetooth was cool. It was nice to not be tethered to the phone. But time progressed, and I ended up buying a pair of USB-C wired headphones, which these are Skull Candies, and the tip on them is USB-C port or USB-C, and they were okay. Okay, I honestly, again, as with those Pixel Buds, just having something in my ear all the time was just kind of uncomfortable. So I honestly didn't use those for too long. So that brings me to today, and it's kind of well, what do I like? What don't I like? What am I looking for? Is there a company that provides a solution to the problem that I think that I have? And as I continue to say, like, yes, all those Bluetooth products, I've used them one way or the other, good to go. But I will always say, or have been saying, that I consistently use these headphones. They are wired. The phone that I have, which I placed it over there, has a headphone jack. So even though these are Apple headphones, they work perfectly with any phone that has a headphone jack. Cool, good to go. But today, and I'll say for the past couple months, I've actually been using my roommate's Apple TV. And when she's not home, I just listen to watch TV, do whatever as usual. But when she is here, I try to be considerate, and I don't want whatever I'm watching disturbing her, whenever she's doing something. Sometimes she's reading, sometimes she's sleeping, sometimes she's just doing other stuff. And yeah, she probably doesn't want to hear what I'm watching on TV. And if you are, an average person, it would make sense. She has an Apple TV. I could get myself a pair of AirPods for $100, maybe, I could get myself a pair of AirPods. But what I actually did is I realized, yes, I do enjoy this experience, this very open experience, but I did not want AirPods. Did not want them. But I did need a Bluetooth connection, because obviously I can't run a cable from the couch to the television, which I could, but I wasn't going to do that. So that leads me to today's solution, at least my solution. The FiiO, which the brand is FiiO, which you're looking at it backwards, I can imagine. BTR3, I believe, is what this is. And I guess it's technically a transceiver. It's going both ways, right? And what it does is it allows me to connect to a Bluetooth device. So in this case, I connect it to the Apple TV. And you're looking at it, you're like, well, is there a speaker on it? Is that what's going on? No. on the bottom here, we have two ports. Okay, we have our USB-C port, which is for charging, and then we have our 3.5mm headphone jack. So I'm able to take this, connect it to the Apple television via Bluetooth, and then connect my headphones directly to it. And as a result of that, I now am able to keep my trusted wired headphones that I've been using for 5, maybe 6, going close to 7 years now, and then modernize them with something that is not made by Apple, that is not directly tied to the things that they need or they make in their ecosystem, and I'm able to use it with this. And more importantly, I would say most importantly, in addition to having the headphone jack, as I mentioned, the fact that it charges via USB-C means that it's just yet another product that fits into the ecosystem that I want it to be in, which is USB-C, considering the amount of USB-C cables that I have. So, in terms of audio quality, like I don't listen to music using it, so I'm not going to try to say it is. It does say high-res audio on the back. I don't know if that'll focus, but it does say high-res audio. So for people who have purchased it and use it for listening to music, hats off to them. I honestly just haven't tried it because I'll connect my Sony Bluetooth over-the-ear headphones directly to my phone and use it that way. But for watching movies and TVs and stuff, streaming, like listening to stuff through the Apple TV, it's perfect. I don't want to say I'm 100% satisfied, but I'm probably 99.999% satisfied. What am I not satisfied about? I don't know. But I'm sure there's something I could find and say, you know what? This could be a little bit better. But the audio quality is fine. The fact that it has 2 universal ports on the bottom, one for charging, one for listening, is great. The fact that the battery life on it is relatively good. Well, it's really good. I mean, it's died on me, but I've been listening, watching TV like all day. I like that there's a little clip on it. So what I'll do is I'll put my headphones in, connect the 3.5mm jack, and clip this to my pocket. So that way, I am now technically hands-free, even though I'm using a wide pair of headphones. And then, yeah, I will be able to watch what I want to watch without disturbing my roommate. How much did I pay for this? I paid, I think, $30, maybe $35 for it. What's the retail price? I will hopefully be able to put it on the screen right now. But in my opinion, I know that this is more than what the average person is going to want to do. They're going to want to just take their AirPods, or even if you're not in the Apple ecosystem, your little Pixel Buds right here, and just say, well, this is what I use, and I'm good to go. But as with all things that have batteries, and even this has a battery too, those truly wireless solutions are going to die, and then you're going to have to charge them, which you have to do with this, and then the battery dies, you got to replace it if you can, which I don't know if you can replace the battery in this, but because of how much this cost, which again is $30, maybe $35 after tax and shipping or whatever, I'll hopefully put that on the screen as well, it's worth it. That if I'm able to use this for a year or two and I only paid $30 for it, it is worth it. And the added benefit of the wired connection, which allows me to use whatever wired headphones that I already own, or even if I don't own them yet, if there's a particular pair that I want to get, I can now connect them to this and still use them. I'm not limited to what companies make as wireless headphones right now when I have something like this. So I will say that this is probably one of the best purchases I made in 2022 in terms of convenience, price, and just overall level of enjoyment. So if you're thinking about a Bluetooth solution, yeah, of course, I'm not going to say don't get whatever truly wireless solution your ecosystem provides, but I'd also encourage you to take a look outside of your particular ecosystem. This works with any Bluetooth device. So even if I wanted to connect this to my MacBook or to my ZenFone or to my Windows computer, to the iPad, I mean, yeah, it works. So yeah, I think I will close with that. If you're considering buying a new pair of Bluetooth headphones, consider something like this. FiiO makes a bunch of other products, and I don't have a ruler, but just thinking like, here's the case for Pixel Buds, and here's the size of this little Bluetooth transceiver. It's really not that big. So definitely something for you to consider. And I'm not going to go over all the specs and all that. I might leave a link to the website in the description. But overall, like I said, 99.999% level of satisfaction, definitely worth purchasing. So, or at least considering purchasing. So, thank you very much. And that's that.